By 2025, more than 400 million jobs worldwide could be transformed by artificial intelligence. This isn't a rumor. It's a measured, predicted, and in many cases, already underway change. Work as we know it is mutating at a speed no previous century has witnessed. And the question is no longer if I will be your boss, but when and how. Today, an algorithm can analyze resumes in 0.2 seconds, plan work shifts for thousands of employees, and accurately predict which team will perform best in the coming week. Meanwhile, millions of human workers are still learning to coexist with digital assistants that never sleep, never get sick, and never forget a task. To understand the impact, one only has to look at Amazon. In its logistics centers, over 750,000 robots collaborate with humans, organizing products, optimizing routes, and boosting productivity by up to 40% compared to a decade ago. They are not mere tools. They are co-workers who learn, adapt, and execute with millimeter precision. And it's not just about factories or warehouses. In offices across the planet, programs like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude are already drafting reports, designing strategies, and writing complete code. By 2025, an estimated 45% of routine administrative tasks will be automated. That means nearly half of all desk work will shift from human hands to intelligent processors. Companies like IBM are already using AI to evaluate employee performance, algorithms that cross-reference data on productivity, communication, and goal achievement. In China, corporations such as Ping An Insurance employ facial recognition systems to measure their team's attention levels in virtual meetings. Every gesture, every pause, every glance becomes data. Meanwhile, in Japan, the Family Mart chain implemented an AI system that reorganizes work schedules based on detected employee fatigue. Yes, the software decides when you need to rest, and it does so better than an average human boss. The working world is entering a new era, that of algorithmic supervision. An era where efficiency is the new language of power. But what happens when artificial intelligence doesn't just supervise, but starts to decide? The rise of the algorithm boss. In 2025, some companies no longer have a human boss in charge. They have an algorithm. In Hong Kong, the investment fund Deep Knowledge Ventures long ago appointed an AI called VITAL as a member of its board of directors. Its job? To analyze millions of financial data points and vote on investment decisions. It doesn't feel stress, it has no favoritism, and it is right more than 60% of the time. A figure that surpasses the human average in stock market environments. This marks a turning point. Authority no longer stems from experience but from computational capacity. The new bosses don't yell, they don't motivate, but they also don't forget anything. Every employee becomes a set of metrics. Every action, a line of data that defines their value within the system. A PwC study calculates that AI-driven automation could add $15.7 trillion to the global GDP by 2030. That's equivalent to creating a new economy, the combined size of China and India. But behind that number lies a shift in hierarchy. Instead of departments, we'll see ecosystems of tasks. Instead of supervisors, there will be predictive models. A telling example is in logistics platforms. Uber and DoorDash already manage millions of drivers through algorithms that assign rides, set prices, and evaluate performance in real time. There is no room for argument. The algorithm always has the final word. And while it seems fair, it also imposes an invisible discipline. If you're late, your score drops. If your acceptance rate falls, the system penalizes you. At Amazon, software decides how many breaks an employee can take. If the numbers don't add up, the system can issue a warning or even an automatic termination. At Walmart, AI reorganizes entire teams to maximize efficiency. And at IBM, predictive models propose who should be promoted or change positions based on millions of historical variables. The impact is astounding. According to McKinsey, companies integrating AI into their management report an average 25% increase in productivity and a 30% reduction in operational costs. But an unsettling question also arises. Who evaluates the evaluator? The digital boss doesn't sleep, doesn't forget, and doesn't forgive mistakes. However, its mathematical precision also harbors a risk: the dehumanization of work. The augmented leader, the human-AI hybrid. The leadership of the future won't be measured in charisma, but in shared competence. In 2025, the most innovative companies are merging artificial intelligence and human judgment to create a new figure, the augmented leader. It doesn't replace people, it amplifies them. At Siemens, managers use a system called MindSphere that analyzes real-time performance data from thousands of industrial plants. The algorithm suggests decisions, predicts failures, and optimizes resources. But the final word still belongs to the human. Result: a 32% improvement in operational efficiency and a 20% reduction in energy consumption. The principle is clear. Let AI manage the information, and let the human brain retain the judgment. A combination that, according to Accenture, could generate an additional $4.4 trillion in global productivity by 2030. At Microsoft, HR teams use algorithms to detect burnout patterns before they occur. If a group shows signs of stress, the system identifies it and recommends redistributing the workload. At Unilever, AI analyzes candidate interviews using facial recognition and natural language. The goal is not to replace the recruiter, but to enable them to make fairer, data-driven decisions. And the most emblematic case, IBM Watson Orchestrate. This corporate assistant can already coordinate meetings, create reports, and assign tasks to an entire human team. In an internal trial, it reduced project management time by 50%. It's not science fiction, it's measurable efficiency. Just 30 years ago, an average executive made decisions based on a few hundred spreadsheets. Today, an AI-assisted leader processes the equivalent of 10 million sheets per second. That difference in scale redefines the power of decision. It's not about knowing more, but about understanding better and faster. A net positive, but profoundly transformed. The collaboration between humans and machines is marking the beginning of a new work culture. However, it's not all optimization and progress. This model also poses a profound ethical and social challenge. What happens to the millions of people whose jobs are replaced by more efficient systems? The change is already underway. According to the World Economic Forum, by 2025, artificial intelligence and automation will have eliminated 85 million jobs globally, but will have simultaneously created 97 million new jobs. That is a net positive balance, but one that is profoundly transformed. Repetitive tasks disappear. Those requiring creativity, analysis, or empathy multiply. Professions like data analyst, AI systems designer, automation engineer, or digital ethics specialist are growing at a rate of 40% annually. Meanwhile, administrative, accounting, and technical support positions are losing ground. The future doesn't punish human work. It punishes routine. In Spain, companies like Telefónica are already training over 6,000 employees in digital skills so they can learn to work alongside AI. In the United States, Google invests $100 million annually in professional retraining programs focused on cognitive and creative skills. And in South Korea, the government subsidizes SMEs that implement AI without laying off staff, fostering collaboration between humans and algorithms. The trend is clear. Those who adapt will dominate the new job market. A LinkedIn study shows that 44% of professionals already use artificial intelligence tools in their daily tasks. The line between worker and programmer is blurring. Every job becomes a hybrid of human knowledge and algorithmic capability. The Industrial Revolution took more than a century to transform the world. The digital revolution did it in 20 years. The artificial intelligence revolution is doing it in barely 5. Never before has a technology modified the structures of employment, the economy, and authority so quickly. Will AI be your boss in 2025? Perhaps, but the important thing is not who is in charge, but who adapts. Because artificial intelligence is not here to replace the human mind, but to augment it. The coming years will belong neither to machines nor to people, but to those who know how to unite both forces. Now it's your turn. Would you accept having a boss made of code? Would you trust your decisions to an AI if it made you more efficient? Leave it in the comments and share how you imagine the future of work, because that future is closer than you think.